Happy Monday, traders. It's 8:04 a.m. Chicago time on the 18th of June, 2018. Thanks for joining me again. I was off on Friday. I was traveling. Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This morning, we're seeing the S&P off a fair amount, currently trading at 2766.50, down 18 points. The Nasdaq's down almost 51 points from Friday's settlement. The Dow Jones down 208 points. And where it all started, the Euro stocks and the DAX are also down about 1.5% each. The main driver for this, as far as I can see, is the China-U.S. trade tensions, mainly weighing in on Europe as well. Today, the China and Hong Kong markets are closed for the Dragon Boat Festival, but trade concerns are making our way through Europe, and it looks like that's what's driving us right now. Additionally, you might have seen movement in crude oil. Crude oil this morning. Iran is voting against the OPEC output raise proposal, which Saudi Arabia can veto. OPEC reportedly considering an output hike of 300 to 600,000 barrels per day. So that's where we are this morning. As far as what we can expect for today, disruptions to the auction and whatnot. The only thing we have on deck, which is not a high priority, is the NAHB Housing Market Index at 10 o'clock Eastern for June, expecting 70. But this week entertains a whole parade of ECB and Fed speakers and so on. We've got a bunch of them today. Fed Speaker Dudley this morning, Bostic this afternoon, ECB President Draghi at 1:30 Eastern. That'll be about 6:30 UK time, and Fed Speaker Williams. So the calendar's got something every day this week, but nothing super duper major that we should be worried about as far as I can tell. Let me review that again. Maybe leading index on Thursday and so on. But there's a press conference for OPEC on Friday, by the way, if you're trading crude oil. That may get things rumbling a little bit. I don't have a review since I wasn't here on Friday. But what we can do is take a look at what the market has done in the overnight session. Friday looks like it was a bit of a jittery trade. Friday saw the highest range and highest volume of the week. Pretty good volume, 1.12 million, right in line with where we would expect it to be. Of course, over the entire week, volume's been around 700 to 800,000, which is about 25%, 20 to 25% lower than the norm we would consider to be the norm. But Friday, really interesting trade. I wasn't here for it, but it opens and then starts to shift down. It tests below the prior day's low on what looks like a spike. This is as clear an excess low as I can see. Pretty quick return back into the overnight, the bulk of where the overnight traded, and then it took off. We saw an impulse up. So Friday was a neutral day. We saw an impulse up in the market finishing near highs. So neutral extreme is what was on deck for Friday. 27.8450 close. We came in this morning and we found ourselves opening a little bit lower. 27.80 in the overnight session. That was Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central. And we close the gap. And then we start to sell off into the Asian session. And consolidate for a while before the Europeans kick in. The Europeans kicked in right here. And from there, we've been selling. We have a long liquidation profile in the overnight session, pretty wide range, 27.6350 to 27.7475, 11 points on really decent volume, 182,000 traded in the overnight session. So it's a pretty active session. So that's what we can glean from this, is that the volume up top, this volume that occurred up here, was very low relative to everything that happened below. It looks like an excess, but it really isn't. We do have the same kind of configuration as we did on Friday's Globex session, and we are opening at the lower end of Friday's range. So where we had an excess low on Friday, so here we have the whole week last week. Monday is right here. Monday started with a small gap, and then we pushed up, traded sideways. Tuesday, overlap, so we started this composite. Wednesday, tested above and below what we'd done on Monday and Tuesday. And then Thursday was an inside day, and on Friday, gap down, test lower, come back, and push right back up. Almost got to the point of control on Friday and closed the gap, but generally moved back into the range. So as we push this profile forward, we can see that it's pretty stocky profile, trading a pretty tight range. 3 million contracts over 4 days, so the volume's a little low. And then Friday extends down. There it is. It extends the profile down. And we ended up finishing inside of this big value area up here. And then this morning we're trading on the extreme end of that profile of Friday's low. So that's where we are. The low overnight is 27.6350, and we're trading at 27.6550. It looks pretty weak to me, with a fair amount to play with. But, you know, I'm monitoring this morning the stock zone right here. This is going to be the tell right here, this stock zone. As long as it doesn't get above 27.80, then I'm gonna be looking to press the short side, aiming for 61 below, 61.56, 52, and so on. Those stock zones below, and that's how things are setting up this morning. Anything above 80, 27.80 goes where? Where do you guys guess is the most likely target once we push through 27.80? What will the auction most likely, most probably do? Give that a thought. Since there's a 7 to 10 second delay, I can't wait that long. If it pushes through 27.80, then we're looking for a hold all the way back up to the point of control above for the entire composite. 27.88 becomes a key target, and then we're back in balance. We're likely to chop in here for the rest of the day. All right, so let's look at our plans. Now, I forgot the colors I chose for scenario 1 and 2, but let's see what we can do with it. Let's do this. So scenario 1, the most likely scenario, will be chop, chop, chop on the open auction in range. If it's in Friday's range or out of range, expecting a quick strong move up into 72. I'm looking for it to be responsive. Consolidate at Friday's point of control and retest this 27.80 before it comes back in and then just sits sideways in here. That's scenario 1. All right. Scenario 2, let's go back to, I don't know, what did we use last time? Magenta or something. I don't know, one of these. Scenario 2 is likely to be an open auction that pushes higher and then reverses, starts pushing the overnight low, and starts to move lower. All right. And so I'm looking for it to retest the range, consolidate, and then let go into the afternoon and start exploring lower prices. 56, depending on how high we go, 56 would be a good target. 72 to 56 is a fair amount of range, but that would be scenario 2. But because we're on the edge of a 5-day composite, so we've consolidated for 5 days, the rollover and expiration is behind us. Some serious business can take place today, and so we're going to look at scenario 3. Scenario 3, we're looking at an open, break the low, test, drive. So now we have an impulse up, drive, consolidate, push through, consolidate, push through, and return to value on scenario 3. All right. Those are the 3 key plays that I'm watching for this morning. And of course, sounds like theory, but it's not. The idea here is to see how the market responds. If we get an open test lower and a drive up, then I'm playing 3. Right? If we get an open auction, we're grinding up, then I know that if I can take a long, my targets are going to be this 27.72 area, the point of control of Friday of 27.75, 75, and then potentially some resistance to 27.80 for scenario 1, and so on and so forth. So this doesn't tell me what's actually going to happen, right? Because nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I don't know. You don't know. And anybody who tells you they know is unfortunately lying to you. What's important is to be able to have a plan laid out for whatever eventuality there is. So if we intend to take, route number 1, then I know where to turn. Turn right at this street, turn left at this street to reach your destination, hopefully, and so on. And that's what these scenarios are for, okay? So that's what we're looking at. One thing I wanted to let you all know, tomorrow I'll be hosting Trade the News for a discussion about news services and how we use them. Been using Trade the News for a long time now, and it's a product spotlight with Convergent Trading. So I'll be hosting Katya from Trade the News to go over some of their basically a walkthrough of their product, and also how bigger traders, institutions, and so on use the news, since news has been driving the trade lately. To register, find the link on Twitter, or go to ft71.com/CT News Spotlight. CT News Spotlight. I'm blank. The case is important. Sorry about that. Anyway, good luck today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care.